Lesson 19, can you believe it? Predicate adjectives. This is Mrs. Ugalde. We're looking at Lesson 19, predicate adjectives. This is a follow-up from predicate nominatives or predicate nouns. In order to have predicate adjectives and predicate nouns, you need to have linking verbs. And linking verbs connect the noun in charge of the subject with the noun or adjective hanging out in the predicate. And the predicate is the verb or the simple predicate with everything else hanging out with it. The subject is the noun in charge of the subject and everything hanging out with it too. So we're going to go ahead and mark it up. We have no prepositional phrases. Tractor is the subject. Is the verb. It's a linking verb. It's one of our to be verbs. Is, am, are, was, were, be, being, been. This adjective, yellow, is describing tractor. So we're going to put up here that it's a predicate adjective. This adjective is describing tractor, and what this linking verb does is it links this adjective back to the subject over here. To make sure that this is a predicate adjective, to make sure that this is a linking verb, what we're going to do over here is just write in yellow tractor. And that's how we've proven to ourselves that this indeed is a linking verb and this is operating as a predicate adjective. Let's go to the next one. After the verdict, her face grew pale. We do have a prepositional phrase. Remember, once we cross off the prepositional phrase, it's off limits for all intents and purposes. And over here we have her face grew pale. Now, grew can be an action verb. So I purposely put this one in to show you that in this case it's not an action verb. No one is really growing. What is happening now is that this is a state of being, because we could say her face is pale or her face was pale. So this is operating as a linking verb. Here's our subject, face, and here's the linking verb, grew. And this adjective, pale, is a predicate adjective. This linking verb is linking pale all the way back to the subject face. And we can double check by putting the adjective right here. And yes, it is a pale face. So that works out just that way. Here's our last one. The baby stayed happy during the entire shopping trip. We do have during the entire shopping trip. Nice. All right, the baby stayed happy. The subject is baby, and stayed is the linking verb. Stay can be an action verb. In this case, it's not. It's explaining the state of being of the baby. It's just saying that the baby is happy, the baby was happy. It's this state of being right here. So this is a predicate adjective. And we can tell because this linking verb is linking happy back to the noun in charge of the subject, baby. And we're going to check by putting the adjective side by side, and all we're doing is checking to make sure that we've done it right. Yes, a happy baby, that makes sense. That's what this sentence is doing. If this is the only information you need, if this makes sense to you, fantastic, then you can just maybe look at a few of the worksheets and double check. If you want to look, if you have some questions but you think looking at the information on Learning Point is going to be helpful to you, or maybe watching this a couple times is helpful to you, that's great. If you need to ask more questions in class, then that's exactly what you need to do. So remember that these lessons are up as an option, meaning not an option to watch. You do need to watch, but an option meaning that might be all that you need. And for some people it will be, and for some people it won't be. So you need to take it upon yourself to determine, is watching this lesson enough for me to understand it? Do I need to do more of the worksheets? Do I need to ask questions in class? Please go ahead and do so if that's what you need to do. Thank you very much. Hi, this is Mrs. Ugalde. We are on Lesson 18, Predicate Nominatives. I want to remind you that these lessons, these video lessons, are not meant to be your only access to the information. If this works for you, that's great. If it doesn't, then at least it gives you these specific questions that you can ask in class. For some people, this is going to do it. And if not, then please make sure that when we're in class, you ask questions. During workshop time, I can pull you up. We can work on this and make sure that we find every possible opportunity to make sure that you are understanding this. The idea is that this is more personalized education. It's just for you. You can watch it as many times as you want to. There are extra worksheets so that you can look more at the information. Right now we're looking at predicate nominatives. There are several sheets online for you to look at. One of them talks about the to be verbs, the irregular verbs, is, am, are, was, were, be, being, been. And we've looked at them before as being helping verbs, but now we're looking at the fact that they can also be linking verbs. Linking verbs have a special role. They get to connect the subject with either a noun or an adjective hanging out in the predicate. And predicate is just a big word of saying the verb plus everything that hangs out with the verb. So we are looking at this subject. In this case, it's only one word. And here's the verb. And here's the whole predicate, everything hanging out with it. So we're going to start by marking it up as we normally do. Get rid of the prepositional phrase. Monica is the subject. Was is the predicate. And now what we're looking at is this noun over here cannot be a direct object because this is not an action verb. This is a linking verb, and it's connecting this word winner to Monica. Because it's a noun, and by the way, predicate nominative is just a big, huge way of saying predicate noun. There's a noun over here in the predicate, winner, that is describing Monica or renaming Monica. Monica is the winner is Monica, so we get to say that this is a predicate noun. This line is here so that we can check our work. To check our work, we just reverse the sentence, and we get to say, the winner of the contest was Monica. And that should work just fine then. So now, winner is the subject, of the contest is a prepositional phrase, was is the simple predicate, the verb, and now Monica is the predicate noun. It's a noun hanging out in the predicate that is renaming the subject. This then is a linking verb, linking these two words together. Jane became my favorite aunt. This time we're using the word became as a linking verb. And you can tell it's a linking verb because we can substitute one of those to be verbs in there. Jane is my favorite aunt. Jane was my favorite aunt. So that works. We don't have any prepositional phrases. Here's my subject. Here's the verb in charge of the predicate. And aunt is Jane. Jane is the aunt. And so we get to put predicate noun right here. This line is here for us to check our work. And we're going to say, my favorite aunt is, oops, my pen's going, is Jane. And now aunt is the subject, is the verb, and now Jane is the predicate noun right there. All right, and now we have our last one right here. Bill has been our neighbor for years. For years is our prepositional phrase. Bill is the simple subject, the noun in charge of the subject. We have a verb phrase right here that's acting as our linking verb. How do I know it's a linking verb? Because neighbor is Bill and Bill is neighbor. This is our predicate. Bill is our predicate noun, and so I'm going to reverse it. I'm actually going to put the prepositional phrase first. For years, our neighbor has been Bill. And for years. Prepositional phrase. Neighbor is the simple subject. Has been is the simple predicate. Bill is our predicate noun or predicate nominative. If that's all the information you need, if that's all the instruction that you need, great. Fantastic. If you have questions, that's great too. Make sure you ask them. But now you can come into class with very specific questions. Remember that there's also worksheets attached, and if practicing those a little bit helps you, then please go ahead and do that and make sure that you ask questions as needed. Thank you.